Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Good Day Arlington live on NBC Sports Chicago. Live is the key word because if we mess up, there's nothing we can do about it. Not that I anticipate that.
What a great way to start
Isn't that a great way to start a show? Right.
Real optimistic.
If you're I said we weren't going to, so that is
No,
optimistic.
okay.
Anyway.
You said if we do, we can't do anything.
We can argue later. If you're a sports fan, it's quite a weekend. There's so much going on. We've got college football. We have the FedEx Golf Playoffs with the BMW Championship. Bears, Packers coming tomorrow night. Welcome, Alyssa. How are you doing today?
Great.
That's the second time I've come to you. We have two major horse races here at Arlington today, and they're for baby horses. One is the Futurity, and one is the Lassie. These are 2-year-olds. And how would you describe young horses in maturity as opposed to like college athletes or pro athletes?
Yeah, kind of comparing it to humans. So we have the 2-year-olds racing today. You might want to say they're on the varsity team in high school, right? The 2-year-olds are still learning. They're trying to prove themselves. Then you have the 3-year-olds running in the races like the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont, and the Preakness. They're in we'll say college at that point. And then when you get older company, you're in the pros. So that's kind of what we're seeing today. They can be stars. These could be future stars. So again, you're kind of watching these high school athletes, if you will, as 2-year-olds, most of them making just their second career start today.
And we could, yeah, you're right. We could see some stars today. And generally, would you say that the male athletes mature kind of like human beings a little earlier than the females?
No.
I'm going
and
into
from my experience with my husband and working with you for the past 8 years, I don't think you guys ever mature.
I think that's a very good answer. I was going into dangerous territory right there. There was some devastating news we're going to get to for the White Sox. I mean, they've been playing good baseball, but Michael Kopech, one of their young pitchers, throws over 100 miles an hour, hurt his arm, and he's going to have Tommy John surgery, out the rest of this year and all of next year. I hate to see that, but the White Sox have such a bright future. But that was a rough part of their future. But maybe he'll come back real well from that. We're going to talk about the Bears and Packers now. The season kicks off tomorrow night. Mark Grody, who is the sideline reporter, Bears beat reporter for The Score, is going to join us. He's on his way up to Lambeau Field. And Mark, wanted to ask you, first of all, I mean, the excitement is off the charts since Khalil Mack was traded to the Bears. What's your feeling on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's legitimate and I would say justified excitement as well. And really, there was a lot of excitement for this Bears team, too, even before that. But this put it from about a 6 or a 7 to about a 12 on the 1 to 10 scale. So, I mean, it's thrilling just from the fact that they got him, that they were able to pull the trigger, and then all of a sudden, once everything sort of settles down from the jubilation of having acquired him, then you're like, whoa, this guy's on the Bears, and look at how much better he can make everybody else.
Mark, though, I mean, you said the excitement level is kind of to a 12 at this point, but do you think the fans or, even the media are getting a little bit carried away? Are the expectations too high, or are they there for a reason?
That's a great question, because I was kind of thinking that myself, because when Khalil Mack came along, if you were somebody who had the Bears down at 6-10, all of a sudden you have them as 9-7. I don't know if Khalil Mack necessarily means a 5 or 6 win turnaround, or if they go from not the playoffs to making the playoffs. What I've been saying to everybody is that this puts the Bears in position now to where if Minnesota and Green Bay are to falter in any way, shape, or form, whether it's just natural or injuries, then the Bears are in position now to possibly put themselves in a good spot in what is a very talented division. And who knows? I mean, this defense for the Bears may be top 5. They were top 10 last year, and teams that have top 5 defenses tend to be very good on the overall picture. A lot of it depends on the offense. But, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. They got better with them. But to your question, yeah, everybody probably getting a little bit carried away with Mac, but that's to be expected. Hyperbole is real.
Yeah. Well, Mark, I mean, we know they're going to be better than they were last year, but, I mean, they're going to live or die probably on whether their quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, takes the next step, right?
That's what it is, and that's what it's been all along in this camp. You finally have Howard, the pieces around him, having brought in a number 1 in Allen Robinson. You have the tight end in Trey Burton. You have a fast guy in Taylor Gabriel. You have a second year of Tariq Cohen, Jordan Howard. So really, they have built this team around Mitchell Trubisky, and yeah, everybody is waiting to see what he looks like in this offense, because I think last year was sort of a tough sample size for him, not thinking he was going to play, and then playing in a very conservative offense.
And he has more weapons around him, so he's going to be better just because of that. Hey, what's it been like to be around a coach like Matt Nagy, who gives you legitimate answers and thoughtful answers and has a give and take and seems to have a little more respect for the fans than John Fox?
It's been pretty amazing, yeah, to have. And I wasn't around John Fox last year, but just being around the other reporters, they're always amazed when we walk out of those press conferences and he answers questions. Like, just one tiny little microcosm example of that is a few days ago, he was asked, Matt Nagy was asked, who's going to be the starting left guard? Is it going to be Eric Kush, or is it going to be the rookie James Daniels? And he answered the question. He said, I knew you guys were going to ask me that question. He didn't really want to answer it, but he did. And everybody, all those beat reporters who've been covering the team for years and covered the John Fox era were like, wow, he gave us something to actually write about. So he is refreshing. He's a gregarious guy, and it feels like he enjoys the give and take with the reporters, which is, as you guys know, great for us.
Yeah, it is. All right, Mark, thanks for the time. Enjoy your first trip to Lambeau. That's going to be quite an experience for you, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't wait, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your show and a great weekend.
All right, Mark Grody of The Score, and he'll be on the sidelines reporting on the Bears game on Sunday night. And now let's go to ESPN 1000. Fred Hubner has our Sports Center update.
Terrible news from the South Side as White Sox pitching prospect Michael Kopech has a tear in his ulnar collateral ligament in his right elbow. He's going to get a second opinion, but will likely need Tommy John surgery and miss the rest of the season and all of next year. On the field, Carlos Rodon struggled finding the plate. The Angels beat the White Sox 5-2. James Shields faces the Halos this evening. In Washington, D.C., the rains wouldn't stop. The Cubs and Nationals postponed after more than 4 hours of delays. They play a doubleheader today. Jaime Garcia makes his Cubs debut in the opener. Cole Hamels starts the nightcap. Cubs lead in the Central 4 games over Milwaukee. Another big Saturday of college football. Number 8 Notre Dame facing Ball State. Northwestern hosting Duke. Illinois against Western Illinois. Utah is at Northern Illinois and Eastern Illinois at Illinois State. The Chicago Bears signed nose tackle Eddie Goldman to a 4-year, $42 million extension as they head to Green Bay in preparation for Sunday night's opener at Lambeau Field. From the ESPN 1000 Sports Desk, I'm Fred Hubner.
All right, Alyssa, what's the weather look like?
It feels like fall here in Chicagoland, and the good news is I think the rain is staying south, so it's going to be a perfect day for a Binny's Taste of the Track wine tasting that's happening at the track today. Our first race off at 1 p.m., Howard.
All right, thanks to Mark. We're going to take a break right now and a couple of more weeks of racing and events at Arlington Park. And next Saturday, let's celebrate the luck of the Irish halfway to St. Paddy's Day with food and drink specials and Irish entertainment, along with top entertainment. We're going to enjoy that, featuring the Luck of the Irish VIP ticket that can be purchased at arlingtonpark.com. And coming up next, very interesting guest. Love having him on. He is the head coach of the Arlington. We're brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka, the preferred vodka of Arlington International Racecourse. Steve McClain, the head coach of the UIC Flames basketball team, is going to join us next on Good Day Arlington.
Love about coaching is the opportunity to be around young people. I think coaching is shaping lives. It's winning and losing, no question, but it's starting to develop young men, and that's what I love about coaching. My energy comes from the fact I love to do what I do every day. I have a hard time being around people that don't have an energy. I want to help people get where they don't think they can get.
Welcome back to Good Day Arlington, live on NBC Sports Chicago. Howard Sudberry, Alyssa Ali, joined by the man you just saw, the head basketball coach at the UIC Flames, Steve McClain. And I'm motivated just by listening to that because your philosophy, you're into it, aren't you?
Well, I kind of got excited there.
Yeah.
That was 3 years ago. So, no, it is great to be with you. You guys have had me out here every year. First time on this show, and I don't know if I made one of the horses mad when I presented before and didn't get invited back. But you know what? It's a great time of year. A lot of great athletics going on, and yet we're getting started.
Yeah, last year you won over 20 games, I think first time since, 2003 and 4. So you've got a lot of people back from last year's basketball team, so you really have to be fired up.
Well, we are, because kind of like when you were talking about the 2-year-olds, I kind of thought about when I first took the job. I had some 2-year-olds in a lot of ways.
Yeah, right.
And my question is, do the 2-year-olds' parents get involved? Because mine do. But it kind of made me think of it. But you know what? It was a growing process, and I knew it would be. And you go through steps. And that first year we won 5 games, and I knew it would be that way. And then 17, then 20. And now for the first time, we have guys coming back that have been a part of winning. A culture is winning. And now the expectations, how they work, what they do, it's real. I don't have to be the voice every day like I was in that video. Now their voice is way out there.
So you obviously have a great track record of all the schools you were at before UIC, but how would you describe yourself as a coach? Are you a mentor? Are you hard on them? Like, how would you describe, I know, reading on the website, it said you're passionate, intense, and hardworking. Obviously great adjectives. Would you agree with them?
Well, yes and no. I think sometimes people can take your intensity the wrong way too.
Sure.
And I think there's something to having great energy. And I tell people all the time, I'm lucky. I get up every day in life and get to do what I love to do. And my family loves it. And I think you guys are involved in athletics in a way you chose to be. And so you have a passion for what you do. I've never been around very many successful people that didn't have a passion for what it is. It's like horse racing. If you get around people, they have a passion for it.
Yes.
And so I think that is being a mentor. That is trying to show people, if you want to be here in life, it's going to take these steps. Nobody just gives it to you. You've got to go through the process, and the process can be hard.
That's well said, and that's not just about basketball, as you were saying. We're going to take a break right now, Coach. This portion of Good Day Arlington is brought to you by the Daily Herald. They're on top of the best news, weather, and sports coverage for the suburbs and Chicago. The Daily Herald. More with Coach McClain next. He doesn't know this, but we might have him pick a horse on one of our races. Back with more Good Day Arlington after this.
I'm glad some of the players are here because it changes today. It started changing about 72 hours ago. I love what I do. That's what they're going to find out. My family loves what I do. And my energy is for them. My energy is for them. And so they've probably heard it's going to be hard. And they've probably heard it's going to be fast and it's going to be different. But you know what? We need it different. We've got to win every day. I go back to that statement. You either win or lose every day.
Welcome back to Good Day Arlington. Howard Sudberry, Alyssa Ali, and visiting with UIC Flames head basketball coach Steve McClain. I love that line, you win or lose every day, and that's not just about basketball. There's no question about that, Coach. Let me ask you, do you worry when you're that intense with your players, do you have to watch it that you don't burn out, that you don't burn them out? Do you have to know when to rein it in?
You know what? Because your voice can also become so strong that they just shut you out.
Yeah,
Our
right.
own kids do it.
Sure. Yeah.
My son does it. And,
Yeah.
and so you do have to be careful. But I think that goes back to your question about being a mentor. I firmly believe in coaching like anything. If the people around you generally know you care for them, more than basketball, more than winning, that you have an investment in their life, then when you are tough on them, when you do get after them, they know that it's about them. It isn't about me. I tell guys all the time, and they had a picture of the rings in my office. I don't need more rings. I want them to experience it.
Yeah.
I want them to sit on the couch for Selection Sunday, and anybody that's ever been there knows what that feels like. And we were #1 in the country at Indiana. We knew we were in the NCAA tournament. I don't care. When you're sitting there and that name comes up, it's a different feeling. I want them to experience it. Now, like I tell them, they come in and they see the rings. No, there's a price you pay for that. Mm-hmm. And so, no, I think the energy, they know that's what our program is.
You're known, Steve, as a top-notch recruiter even as well. What makes a good recruiter?
That every time you have a conversation, you never have to worry, did you tell the truth? Because so much of recruiting, I tell guys all the time, hey, you know what? You need to ask the questions. If someone's going to tell you they're going to help you get to the next level, because, again, kids have a dream. They want to go beyond college. Well, then you better ask them, have they ever really helped anybody do that? Mm-hmm. Not talked about it, really done it. And so, you know, I think at the end of the day, you want them to walk away feeling like, someone once told me this, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear, I'm going to tell you the truth. Very few people in life will do that with you.
Very true.
It's one thing I try to do.
That's great.
I think that's a great approach to recruiting. All right, we have two big races out here at Arlington today, the Futurity and the Lassie. Here we go. Strap it on. Just by the name, pick a name. Distant Shore, Hide the Demon, Say and Grace, Castlewood Terrace, Knicks Go, as in New York Knicks, Coup de Ville, Big Drink of Water.
I'm going with Hide the Demon.
Hide the Demon.
That sounds...
Hide the Demon. 5-1 on the morning line. We'll see how that works out.
All right.
What are your expectations? You know, that seems like a dirty word in sports sometimes. I think it's great because if you have high expectations, that means that there's reason for it.
Well, I've always said this. Somebody, you know, we've been, for the first time, picked in 1, 2, or 3 in every college magazine.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have expectations, then, one, you either need something different to go on, but some people like being picked low because, well, then if it doesn't happen, well, that's where we were picked. Right. My idea is you want to be picked to be the best. And then if you don't live up to it, then you deal with that.
Yeah.
But I always laugh when coaches go, well, you know, we're picked #1, but, well, no, if you want to win championships, you can't be afraid to say we're going to win a championship. it's one thing as a coach, you study people. People can say whatever they want about the manager of the Cubs. He doesn't run from expectations.
Right.
He wants expectations. Sure. And then he finds a way to get the players to enjoy the expectations. Yes. That's the big key.
I want to play for you.
Awesome. Me too.
I think we both feel that way.
You both
Steve
can
McClain.
come.
Yes.
And watch out for Hide the Demon today, Coach McClain's pick. Thank you very much for being on with us.
Thank you for
We're going
having
to take a quick break right now. Good Day Arlington is brought to you in part by International Hair Designs in Lake Zurich, the salon for kids and adults. And coming up next, we're going to get ready for Benny's Taste at the Track at Arlington, and we're going to look at some wines and foods that are going to be celebrated today. Good Day Arlington continues right after this. Welcome back to Good Day Arlington on NBC Sports Chicago. Howard Sudberry, Alyssa Ali, joined by Chef Jay. We have a big day out here today. Benny's Taste at the Track, our wine tasting event, Alyssa. We have 2 of them a year, and we have a way, or the chef has a way, of pairing the foods that we offer with the wines.
Yeah, Chef Jay, let's talk about it now. Our Benny's Taste of the Track. There are some tickets still available, by the way, if you're watching at home and you're thirsty for wine like I always am, you can still join us at the track. But Chef, we really wanted to talk about not only the tasting today, but really just learning a little bit more about what goes into pairing different foods. Because obviously you're an executive chef here at Arlington. Tell us a little bit more about perhaps what you would pair with a red wine.
So a great starting point with red meats is red wine. Just the complex flavors of red meats far beyond what a white meat would be. Pairs really well with a red wine versus white wine being with white meat, but that's not the limitation. Again, that's a good starting point, but I mean, with cuisine the way it's going and meat not being the center focus anymore, you've got so many different pathways to go that you can pair whatever you want with whatever you want.
So there's really, so there's really nothing wrong if you like red wine, you can drink it with fish or whatever you want.
There's no shame.
What? Because I heard that is a no-go.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen to your palate. I mean, there's no wrong answer when it comes to food and beverage.
So when you are pairing white, though, it does usually go better with lighter food?
Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't have that just depth of flavor that a red wine has. It's less in your face, I guess, less lingering. So it pairs really well with more mild flavors, or doesn't mask them as much, I should say.
Okay. And today, and again, Benny's Taste of the Track, what might we see with their tasting? Because again, with the Benny's Taste of the Track ticket, you get a food pairing for red and a food pairing for white. So what will they see today?
Today we got some really nice, delicious food, but it's still approachable. So a crab cake that goes really well with white wine. We've got some braised pork belly. We've got some pumpernickel little finger sandwiches with smoked salmon, and tenderloin sliders with arugula and horseradish cream sauce.
This is hard for us to stand
I
in
was
front
going to
of this.
say, because I want to eat that right now. But Chef Jay, I mean, this is obviously a great deal. It's a 4-hour wine tasting, and again, plated food here. So we want the belly to be full while we're drinking, and there's some great options. So we definitely recommend people coming out today.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a great day to be out here.
It absolutely is. So if you're maybe cooking at home, now you know a little bit more about red or white, but of course we want you to join us for Binny's Taste at the Track here today. It's our fall tasting. We have one in the spring and of course one in the fall. But Howard, we're still racing all the way through September 22nd. Chef Jay, thank you so much. I want to start eating. Now taking a look at next weekend, a lot going on still. We have our Value Day racing and then Party in the Park. Or no, Friday's Party in the Park's over, but we do have Luck of the Irish. That's what I was getting excited about.
We have Luck of the Irish, and we want to talk about on that the Luck of the Irish VIP ticket, which is all inclusive. But we have all kinds of Irish entertainment out here, Irish food, Irish beer, Irish drinks, Irish dancing, all of that.
Reuben's maybe, right?
Reuben's,
Yeah.
plenty of potatoes and
Green
carrots.
beer. Green beer.
Green beer, yes.
Very important.
It's very good. There's no question about it. We don't have that today, but we'll have it next week, and we have a lot of great racing through the 22nd.
Yeah, well, let's check in with our track announcer, John G. Dooley, for now. It's being duly noted here on Good Day Arlington as far as what's up next.
Next week on Good Day Arlington, it's all about the Luck of the Irish as Arlington celebrates the 6-month countdown halfway to St. Patrick's Day.
And welcome back to Good Day Arlington. Howard Sudberry, Alyssa Ali had a fascinating conversation. We're all jacked up still from talking to UIC Flames.
Kind of a motivational
basketball
speaker.
Coach, yes, he is. He is.
I mean, maybe you have to be for
you know
as
what?
a
To
coach,
be a good
right?
coach, you have to be that way.
Yeah.
You have to be that way to be a good trainer in horse racing too.
And a
I
good
think
chef,
that,
I bet.
And a good chef, but I mean, really, trainers have to be able to communicate with their horses. But the horses, unlike this coach, the horses don't talk back. That's the key, isn't it?
The owners do, though.
The owners do. They have their feedback. So anyway, 2 big races today. We're going to be back next week, and then our last show is September 22nd, so we thank all of our guests. That's going to do it for Good Day Arlington. For Howard and Alyssa, we will see you next Saturday on NBC Sports Chicago at 11 o'clock a.m. There she goes.